Okay, hello. We are here in Music 1120, and a whole bunch of you are sick or not here. So what we're going to do is make a little video so you guys can get your homework done. So today we're talking about scales. We're going to talk about the major scale, the formula for making any scale, the terminology that we use in scales, and then scales with key signatures and scales with accidentals. Once we do this, you're going to understand why the key signatures are so important. And then we're going to get to something called relative minors and completing the circle of fifths. But let's start just with this, the formula and the terminology. So what were the two words, besides key signatures, the two things that we learned about in class last week? Close. Tones and semitones. Tones and semitones. Or sometimes they're called half steps and whole steps. They are like the little Lego pieces, the building blocks of music. And the reason why you learned what those are is because these are the things that we use to build the major scale. So this is the major scale in C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay? So this is what all Western music is made out of. But this is this can fool you a little bit into thinking that all scales are just made up of white notes, because they're not. C major, if you look over on your circle of fifths, C major has no sharps and no flats, right? Now, why is that? The formula is going to show you why that is. So, what is the distance between C and D? From C to D, we go 1, 2 steps. I need a different color. So we go like this. From C to D, that's a tone, right? So this is a tone between these two notes. From D to E is what? From here, 1, 2. It's also a tone, right? From E to F, is that a tone?
No.
It's a semitone, because it's only one step. So from here, it's a semitone. From F to G, is that a tone or a semitone? Tone, because it's 2 steps. We go 1, 2. From G to A, is it a tone or a semitone? Tone, because it's 1, 2. From A to B, is it a tone or a semitone? It's a tone. And from B to C, is it a tone or a semitone?
Semitone.
Semitone. So this formula, this relationship of tones and semitones, is the reason why we have all the sharps and flats in our key signature. And I'm going to show you why in a minute. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. And we can unpack this in a lot of ways. I'm just going to unpack it a tiny bit just to make it a little bit easier. We can break this into 3 pieces. This, and you guys don't have to know this terminology, this is just me explaining it to you. When we have tone, tone, semitone, that block is called a tetrachord. And every scale is made up with two tetrachords. And in the center, we have what is called the connecting tone. So we have a tetrachord on the bottom, a tetrachord on the top, and in the middle, we have a connecting tone. So, but the easiest way is just to remember tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. 2 tones in a semitone, 3 tones in a semitone. Okay? So let's all say it out loud 3 times, and I want it to be loud enough to be picked up on the video so that Jackson can hear it. Jackson, are you listening? This one's for you. Ready? Here we go. And go.
Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone.
Louder.
Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone.
Like you're angry.
Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone.
Some of you didn't sound angry. You definitely sounded happy. And that's okay. It's all right to be happy and angry. What does that combine? Hangry. That's like being that's when you're hungry and angry. Okay, so that's not going to work. But anyway, so do we get the concept that this series of building blocks makes every single scale and key signature? Does that make sense? Okay, I'm just going to pretend like you all said yes, very enthusiastically. Yes, Gordon, we love this so much. All right, thank you. Thank you, students. All right. So let's make ourselves another scale. And Shirley, because you got a perfect score on your quiz last week, you get to pick any one of those scales. Let's do a sharp key first. So pick a sharp key. Maybe one that has a lot of sharps. A? A major? Okay, so you will often be asked to write a scale. They'll give you A major. Here's how we do it. You find the letter A, F, A, C, E. Here's A. And a scale has 8 notes because our musical alphabet has 7 letters, and then you always have the same letter on the top and bottom. So we're going to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then we need a ledger line at the end to make the top A. All right. Now, we have to have this. Tone, tone, semitone. I wish I was an octopus. This would be so much easier. Tone, 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 semitone. Okay, great. So now we have to make this work. So here's where having a keyboard drawn in front of you at all times comes in handy. So that little ruler that you have has a keyboard on it. So let's start on boop, 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 boop. I'm not going to do as nice of one here, just because of time. We'll make it quick. Keyboard. And, oh, no, I got to keep going. All right. I started in the wrong spot. There we go. Okay, so here's our A. We start with A. Now, here's how we figure out what black notes are in this key, because if it's not C major, there's going to be some black notes in it. So we need to go from A to B something. So here's A. We're going to go a tone, which is from A to A sharp to B. There's our first tone. If you agree, say yes. Yes. So A to B is fine. No black note needed there. Let's go from B to the next tone. So if we go to C, that's only one step. That's a semitone. We don't need a semitone. We need a tone. That brings us to C sharp. So here's our first tone, A to B. Second tone is B to C sharp. Does everybody understand why there's a C sharp there? Because it's 2 steps? one step would be to the white note, 2 steps would be 1, 2, up to the black note. So we have a C sharp. Good. Now, do we have another tone? No, because it's tone, tone, semitone. So to make a semitone, all we do is go to D. Now we have a semitone. Now from D to E something, we need a tone. So D to E, that's 2 steps. So that's a tone. E to F is not a tone. It needs to be a tone. So we have to go up to F sharp. So E to F, we have to put a sharp to make sure that it's 2 steps to make a tone, because we want a tone here. Now we want another tone. So from F sharp, we have to go to G sharp, because that also makes a tone. And then what's the final step? A tone or a semitone? From G sharp, what's a semitone up? Did you say H? Oh my God, I love that so much. A. Just take the ch out of it. A. And that's why this is an A. So we have to go A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, if we want to have a tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. How many sharps do we have? 3. What do you think those 3 sharps are? Father, Charles, goes. Father, Charles, goes. If you look over there, are there 3 sharps beside A on the right-hand side? That's why we have 3 sharps. And every single key will have the same relationship of tones and semitones. So that's why you have sharps and flats in all the keys except for C. Okay? Now, it took me like 7 minutes to explain this. You guys are going to do like 100 scales easily. You're going to write out 100 scales in this course. So 100 times 4, that's like 400 minutes, unless if you do the homework, and then it'll be like 3 minutes, and then 2 minutes, and then 1 minute, and then eventually you'll be able to do a scale in like 30 seconds. All right? So here's the steps. You get the key, you write the name of the letter on the score. And this letter here has a special name. It's called a tonic. The tonic means the first note in a scale. So for an A major, A is the first letter in the scale, A is the tonic. If you're an F major, F is the tonic. If you're in C sharp major, C sharp is the tonic. If you're in D major, D is the tonic. Okay? Unfortunately, there isn't a note that's called a gin, because then you could have a gin and tonic. Anybody? Any takers for that bad joke? No? Jackson at home? Do you think that one was funny? No? All right, moving on. So, any questions? Okay. Oh, don't do it. Oh. Sorry about that. That was totally my fault. Okay. Follow me. I'm over here. Yes. There we go. Okay, Osmo. There. All right. We're going to do another one, but we're going to do it in flats this time. So, we'll do it in the bass clef this time. And so here we did A major. Let's do A flat major instead. So A flat major. Okay. So, class, What is the tonic of A flat major? Is the tonic of A flat major A? A flat. That's right. H flat, right? A flat. So all cows eat grass. So there's your all. Start with an A flat. Let's make our, I'll do it up here this time. Oh, it's so messy. Oh, wow, it's just getting worse. It's just getting worse with time. That's okay. All right. So here's our A. So this is our A flat. Because flats go down, sharps go up, right? If that's A flat is the note right below. Okay, so now we need to write in all the rest of the notes in nice ovals. The bottom and the top note will always be the same. If that's an A flat, that's an A flat. So now we just have to figure out what goes in the middle. Now if we cheat and look at our circle of fifths, what does A flat major have in it? Sharps or flats? How many flats?
4.
What are those 4 flats?
B.
Okay, so we know that we're supposed to have B, E, A, and D flat. So let's check this theory. We want more arms, first of all. Okay, so we want tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Now let's make that happen. So here's A flat. That's supposed to be a T, just for those of you who don't read chicken scratch. So what's a tone up from A? Ooh. They laughed at my joke. They didn't even know it. Thank you! Thank you for laughing at my joke. Go do your homework. Now, here's A flat. Let's go a tone up from A flat. We go 1, 2 steps. So we go from this black note to this black note, right? That's A flat. That's going to be B flat. A flat to B flat is our first tone. Now we need another tone. So we go from B flat to C, B flat to B and then to C. So B flat to C is a tone. Now we need a semitone. A semitone from C is D flat. So we know we have to put a D flat. Now we need a tone. 1, 2, E flat. We need a tone. What's a tone up from E flat? We go 1, 2, 2 steps. That's an F. Lo and behold, F. What's a tone up from F? 2 steps. It's G. And what's a semitone up from G? A flat. So, how many flats do we have? 4. It looks like 5 because these A flats are the same letter. And we have B, E, A, and D. Let's check. B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. That's why there's 4 flats in A flat major. Okay? Now, when you're doing this part, sometimes you might actually say like, well, what's up from here? Oh, it's C sharp. But that's why you put these notes in, because you have an A something, a B something, a C something, a D something, an E something, an F something, a G something, and an A something. So you couldn't go like A, B, C, C sharp. You can't have 2 C's in the scale. You can have a C something and a D something. C sharp and D flat are the same note on the keyboard, but in this case you have to use a D flat. Also because in a flat key you wouldn't have sharps. And in a sharp key you won't have flats. Any questions? Oh, wow, you kept up with me. Good job, Osmo. So, who is feeling brain dead because of this material? Hands up. Yeah? Okay. That's what the homework is for. So, if you turn to page 31, I want you all to do page 31 in the book. And also, read through everything that's written here, because it's going to reiterate what I just said, but in a different order, and I will hopefully put all the pieces together for you. Go ahead and do that now.